Yes. Yes, 2 times. Y'all know the vibes though. She like, there you go. She like, there you go. Okay, ooh la la. She like, ooh la la. There you go, ooh la la. She like, ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here. One more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Over here on this side, we deal with sports, hip hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes when brothers don't be acting flaky, Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. So before you leave, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash that notification bell so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, good looking. But you know how I do. You know how I plainly start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game, people. We is in the end game because it feels so good after 2 weeks. Like, you know what I mean? And last Saturday at this time, like, did the unthinkable. And, you know, trying to go help somebody out, being careless, not being focused. Almost set my shit on fire. In fact, rewind, I did set my shit on fire. Fortunately, you know, we was quick enough to put the plays out and everything turned out good. But just like in an instant, you see everything just like Eddie Murphy and what was it, Raw or Delirious? When his uncle was cooking, I mean, chefing it up and on the cookout on the grill. And that's a fire. That's how quickly, obviously, you know, fire can spread and you can see how damaging it can be. And, you know, obviously we just had a deadly fire in the Bronx when it seemed like kids keep losing their lives. And I think this time it was over an e-bike. You know what I mean? They're trying to regulate and stuff like that. But, you know, obviously when situations like this occur, it makes you reflect and it makes you, you know, obviously say what could have been. And then therefore, thus it gives you, or it should give you, the wherewithal to be grateful for what you got, what you have, and, you know, take into consideration that everybody may not be where you're currently at, although you may think in your own mind, in your own, you know, lens of looking at it, that you're not where you want to be or things is just not right for you. Some people is down and out, like, you know what I mean? Like, you up or you stay down, like you up or you stay down. And some people is, you know, with no homes and they, you know what I mean, homeless and living in cars and living in situations where, you know, they don't want to be. Or even, dare I say, self-sabotaging their own circumstances and where they at. And Brother Hakim, you know what I mean? May Allah be pleased with the brother. He was telling me when I way back, you know what I mean, when I was going for my GED, right? Because y'all know on the channel, I'm not an idiot. You know what I mean? I'm not college educated, but I'm not an idiot. And you just can't tell me anything, and I'm gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe. But he used to say, because every time I would go for the test, or the test would roll around like every 90 days, you know what I mean? That's like was the cycle. And you know, if you qualify, whatever, you could take the test. But anyway, I would go to the box or get a key block or just do, you know, just do something to self-sabotage. These is his words. And, you know, as I got older, you understand. And that's why I'm bringing it, that's why I'm speaking of it in this sense. Self-sabotage their own self because they don't want to be in the jail cell. They don't want to be at a certain place where they living at. Get into some shit with the local residents, or you see people on work release, you know what I mean? And you know, sometimes and a lot of times, let's be quite frank, I'm not an angel. I've been to these places and I'm well versed, well experienced. Unfortunately, when you have certain officers and people come in and, you know, their job is to fuck you over, send you back. You know what I mean? I'm gonna write you a ticket, and you know, you see, you know, brothers and women lose their cool, end up back up top, you know, 24 hours, and you know, you back locked up on the phone, either on the bar, the phone, like, you know what I mean, you far from home, either on the bar or the phone. And as opposed to dealing with the challenges of, you know, dealing with an asshole officer, somebody coming in, you got a fucking bitch that's coming in. I know what it's like when they come in, and you be wanting to call them that and just be and everything else under the sun, like, this fucking whack ass, miserable, you know what I mean? Good for nothing ass bitch want to come in here, fuck with me, cause her shit ain't right home. Or it could be a dude, you know what I mean? You're like, this fucking faggot out, like, I know how it is. And then you got obviously officers that just come do their job. But the point that I'm making is, instead of dealing with that and finding a way around that, you do something to send you back up top and you self-sabotage. So, you know, you may not see, you know, where you at. Just deal with it, and you're going to come out in your own way. But all praises due, you know what I mean? It's always good to reflect. We also in the end game, you know what I mean? Because that was last Saturday, you know what I mean? Last Friday, jumped in the movies, went to see the WaKanDa Forever, you know what I mean? And obviously the closeout of Marvel 4, you know what I mean? Phase 4, going into Phase 5, the multiverse. Tony, there was no other way. Like, we in the end game. And before I went to see it, just like with the Woman King, which I didn't see yet, you know, unlike with WaKanDa Forever and Black Panther 2, you know, the Woman King is alleged and said to be based off true events of, you know, those women warriors, and you know how they pretty much captured their own, but you black, you know what I mean, sold them to the French, and you know, shipped them off to different places. And so I didn't really want to, you know, go jump into that right away. I gave my thoughts on the other video. Go see the other video that I did, spoke about this, and my thoughts is the same. I'm definitely gonna still support it because I love Miss Davis. I think she one of the best male or female actor. You know what I mean? She puts it down. She got real buffed up for the role. You know what I mean? Even in her, I think she was 56, 57, I think, yeah, I think maybe like that. But anyway, to the movie, I thought it was good. I went to see Black Adam as well. I went to see Black Adam twice. So I ain't gonna say it was better than that. Obviously, it's a whole nother, you know, type of DC, etc. But you know, they give the tribute to the character and to the person. You know, the actor, the man, obviously the brother on Chad Boswick. But you know, when I was pulled up to the movie, and I went dolo too. You know what I mean? Sometimes I do that. Like, I like to go give my line, give my, you know what I mean, my opinions on and Cisco and Neva and see what this shit is hitting for. And I've done it a few times. I have no problems with doing it. Roll in there and right on in Harlem too. You know what I mean? I think I got some video of this shit. A lot of black folks are showing out, and like I said, what I seen in the TikTok video, you had a couple of sisters, couple of dudes too, couple of the brothers, like, you know what I mean, pro-black people and all that. The black people, ho, was like, listen, if you white and if you were like pretty much, if you another race, don't roll up in here wearing all white, because it might be a problem. You might get hit in the head. And although I didn't see any videos that went that far, you can see some of them felt passionate about that shit. I'm saying, okay, y'all representing. This is a tradition. This is you know, culture for some. If you tracing it back to the tribes and all that, we're gonna get into that in a minute, because I also seen Hebrews to Negroes. You know what I mean? The whole documentary that Kyrie, you know, got suspended for, ended up serving 8 games. He might come back tomorrow, Sunday. Not sure who they play. But so you know, I also seen that movie, but unlike the Woman King, you know, they paid the tribute. I seen a whole bunch of people coming in white, and my thing is this, right? Like, you want to follow the trend, or you want to, not go with the normal what you've been. It's like Kanye West, right? In the joint, he like shit like you want sparkling water or you want regular tap water. And he like you wasn't been drinking sparkling water, bitch. Like like now I mean don't even try to front like don't front for me. Like you gonna play that role, play it, and that's a purple tape reference. But I'm being funny. Far as your own dad, like your parents. Did you wear all white for your parents? If that wasn't your vibe, and again I'm not saying you can't like a circle, like you know what I mean, do a circle and reverse it or 180. You could do whatever you want. Like so this year I'm going back more to my roots and power to the people, and I back you on that shit. Like all right, cool, I'm with that, and I support that. I salute that if that's what you want to do, but not for the actor. You know what I mean, not for the brother who you don't know, you never met. You coming out like this, the Oscars and shit, and you doing it, for him. But your uncle died. You know what I mean? He took you to the baseball game or put you up on some game or whatever it was. You ain't do that at his funeral. You ain't even come to the repast. You know what I mean? And if he's a piece of shit, then he's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying overall, and stuff we jump onto, we cling onto, we try to take it as our own. And again, that's culture. You know what I mean? When you look at the Hebrews and Negroes, you see a lot of them with white on and just different. It was so beautiful to see so many beautiful faces and like beautiful people. You know what I mean? But you putting on for somebody you don't even know. Same thing. Like I won't say like with the singers or rappers when they pass. You know what I mean? Rest in peace. Takeoff. His funeral just passed, and you had what's this chick, Young Miami? You know what I mean? Miami, like the City Girls for the win. Shout out to all the City Girls and 304s and everybody out there doing what you do. Shout outs to y'all. Without y'all, we wouldn't know. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be able to identify certain shit. Like Ho said, if it wasn't me, niggas still be dying for hoes. Like, if it wasn't for y'all, but no, seriously, you had people putting on. You know what I mean? And if you an actor or you MJ, you know what I mean, you somebody real famous, you can see when people be crying or they be on, or when they singing on stage and they falling all over themselves. This is the day of, show reverence and hold people up to a higher standards that don't really deserve it. Like, you know what I mean? Like Nas said, it's a dirty game. Is any man worthy of fame? Much success to you. Even if you wish me the opposite. Sooner or later, we'll all see who the prophet is. You know what I mean? You had Derek Jackson's wife. She came out like speaking down in the prophet. She was quoting the Bible. You know what I mean? And in the documentary, they quote the Bible a lot. She was like pretty much slow death, burn slow, like hope your soul burn, like you know what I mean. Y'all talking on my husband, y'all keep talking on us, and when you in the public eye, I get it. Like you know what I mean, this was Derek Jackson, The Dark Knight. You know what I mean? And he had his fall. You know what I mean? From the sky, people was come for your neck. People. That's the thing about the internet and being, celebrity, if you will. Have notoriety. You're the man, like you're the man, or you that bitch, you the boss bitch. People come for your family. People say foul. People want your dog killed. Like, I mean, they want foul shit. They wish foul shit. They make up fake profiles just to attack. So a lot of people was getting down bad on her, like, yo, you a Christian woman, woo woo woo. We all human. And I say, Islamic studies, Christian beliefs. Anything to violate or try to hurt and bring harm or do anything that will be met, you know what I mean, with aggression. And obviously, you know what I mean, foot the ass if need be. Christian or not, Muslim or not, Jew or not, like no matter who you are, no matter what religion and way of life that you choose to follow. Challenge. Like it's up to you. Do your research though. Should you just let somebody just do anything and do bring harm to you? You know what I mean? Fuck all that. Like you know what I mean? Foot the ass and bat the head. Like whatever it's going to be. But I just think we should rep our own that way. And that's the thing now. Speaking of all this shit to Kyle, let's talk about Kyrie real quick. You know what I mean? Or maybe not real quick. I got time today. We're gonna get into the picks and all this shit. Yeah, Utah today too, real quick. I'm gonna check the score real quick. Still 2-2. Oh, damn, Utah's cleaning right now. They up motherfucking, damn it, 80-64. Yeah, we waiting on the chicken dinners. You know what I mean? Yesterday was a nice hit. Hopefully today is a hit. Spurs is down. They're down 16, but they're getting 8. We'll see. We'll check back in a minute. Let's go. You see the Nike person come out and like got to put him in his place and woo 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 and just saying like people can do whatever they want because they just know built in like this shit is a self mechanism, a safe fail. You know what I mean? A safety. You know what I mean? That we just ain't gonna rock with each other. It's only to a certain extent. Like you know what I mean? And it's unfortunate. But and the Hebrews to Hebrews, the Negroes, and obviously we was that, and pretty much what the documentary is saying in a nutshell. And now we reduced to nigga, ninja, please. I'm treated like a fucking disease. Just say, why do I call myself a ninja so quick? Because I can reach in my drawers and pull out a bigger. Ninja say nigga will be cool, but Cracker say ninja nigga. Y'all know what it is. Easy E, rest in peace. You know what I mean? West Side, you see Easy in the back chilling right here. Easy E. I mean, right next to motherfucking Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Shit fire. Easy E. What it do? Cracker say nigga we go from that to this. And it's a lot of different thoughts. So if I jumping all over the place, just pardon me, just bear with me. I seen a clip with Peter Rosenberg. Like I mean, he's the Juice Crew. He's a Jew, right? And he was on with Lord Jamal. You know what I mean? Brand Nubians like step to the rear. Grand Poo is on arrival. If my brothers don't get in, then the X makes the exit to the rear. I'm out of here. Don't front on my brothers. Take care of them before I take care of others. Like they've been telling us this shit in the 90s. Like you know what I mean? Take care of your brothers before you take care of anybody else. You may beat your brother up in the house, but outside, nobody beats your brother up. Anybody think about beating your brother up, both of y'all gonna whip ass. That's how it's supposed to go. Anyway, the president of Nike came out and we've been seeing a lot of shit. Dave Chappelle came out with his little skits. I only seen a little small portion of it on Instagram. I haven't gotten around to it, but I did see some of the crucial parts where people is wanting his shit banned or canceled. And this shit is just a shit show. But anyway, they came out. Obviously, Kyrie had to serve 5 games, returning not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, like not 5. 5 golden rings. LeBron James, I'm being funny. Him and Wade and Bosh is going to win all the rings in the world. Not 2, not 3. They suspended him for 5 games. End up turning to 8, and maybe he gonna come back and play tomorrow. Maybe he won't. People saying now he went above and beyond and did the most. He was the hostess of the mostest just to come back and get his job. First they was praising him, and the thing is, like he said, he never was anti or hateful anybody. You know what I mean? Live and let others live. You know what I mean? Live, love, laugh. You know what I mean? And ponder the day of when you out of here, right? Your record deal, video, all that shit out of here. Your NBA career announcement and you a referee, all that shit out of here. You know what I mean? Then you got to answer to the Most High. I think he made it clear. Hopefully he'll get back on the court. Farrakhan spoke out about it. You know what I mean? Salute to the brother Farrakhan. Obviously, he's been a stable. He's been a spokesman. He also has been Cash also as an anti-Semitic, and they banned him off the platforms. He came out and spoke. Jay Will, for 3, Jay Will came out of the left corner. You know what I mean? It's like the Do the Right Thing movie. Radio Raheem. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to the brother. He going in real life. You know what I mean? Like in the real life. And he was talking to Spike, Mookie. And he was like, love. You know what I mean? And hate and showing the rings. You know what I mean? And he was like, oh, hate is winning. But here come love. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was all piling on. Then here come Farrakhan. Here comes Jay Will. I already spoke about on the last show, and it's been a minute. It's been 2 weeks. But anyway, on the last show, spoke about Keyshawn pass me the damn ball Johnson on the show with Max Kellerman, who is also a Juice Crew, you know what I mean, as well. It was good to see that, especially Jay Ware. Like, that nigga didn't back down. Like, know what I mean? Back down, no, like, like 50, don't back down. Like, back down. I may lose my job. I may lose endorsements. And obviously, the minister, he did it more eloquently. Like, gave you an ass whipping and the tongue lashing, and you had to go think about it. Like, he didn't even use no curse words. Now, that's why some of the nice rappers, shout out to my boy Gray, they don't even be cursing their rhymes and it's still hit hard. Like, you know what I mean? Hard as a rapper that's saying 100 curses, you know what I mean, in one verse. You're like, damn, that verse was hard. Nigga said, shit, dick, bitch, you know what I mean? Mad times. He just flipped it and bounced it, like, on some, you know what I mean? Hear niggas come when you hear your word, then they want to flip it and bounce it. But anyway, they came out and they gave, you know, obviously support and lashing. Even then Kanye came out after that. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy week from almost the fire to losing. And I did take a lot. I lost a couple of dollars. I lost some equipment. You know what I mean? I took an L on that one. Like, last night took an L, but tonight I bounced back. Like, last night took an L, but today I bounced back. And, you know, one day you up, one day you down. Long as it stay the same, it'll come back around. Hove, all right. As long as you stay the same, you stay true to who you are, and, you know, staying true don't mean just not trying to get better. It just means your principles and overall, you know what I mean, you're square. You stay the same. You ain't going to get desperate and then start an OnlyFans, or you ain't going to go in the back door and start doing some crazy shit, you know what I mean, that you would have never thought about doing. But just because you low, you know what I mean, they testing your character, they testing your, you know what I mean, your testicular fortitude, you just fold up like, you know what I mean, like, no, it don't mean it mean you stay firm and you weather the storm, and it'll come back around, and it'll come back around when you least expect it, and plentiful. Like, you know what I mean, here you go, for standing solid and 10 toes down, yeah, that feeling. Anyway, I took a loss. But, you know, Kanye came out and, you know, he spoke about the minister. So, you know, he didn't take well with what he said. I didn't hear anything wrong with what the minister said. In fact, he was backing him. I think he did it eloquently. I think he did it, you know, in only the way that he can. Obviously, he got away with words, you know what I mean? And he fired up, like get you fired up, ready to not take no bullshit without cursing, you know what I mean? And then obviously Jay Will, his hit a little more, but I mean, at least for me, you see him on TV, you know, people can have their feelings, or, you know, they got their take on him. But seeing him come out like that, that was official, you know what I mean? And he gained a lot of respect in my book off that. But back to the documentary, and speaking to Peter Rosenberg, I know I was rambling a little bit. You know, he's a Juice Crew. He was on with Lord Jamal on the platform. And pretty much, when, you know, Lord Jamal watched the documentary, as I have, and thanks to, you know, the ESPN, all these big networks, number one being Amazon, like Prime. You a Prime member, you're going to get your shit delivered tomorrow night. They promoting it, it's on their platform. Nobody's beefing. And then this point has been driven home already. And before it's been, you know, widely driven home, I've been had that take. Like, now this ain't, I'm saying, damn, like I said, I've been heard this. This shit ain't just come out yesterday. I didn't know Shaq played it in his movie theater in Jersey, but it wasn't nothing new to me. I'm proud to say, you know what I mean? But I didn't watch the documentary, but I did watch it. Now I rented it for, what was it, $12, or now it's $15. They living good. They living good in the neighborhood. They eating good in the neighborhood. And they've been eating and living good in the neighborhood because the documentary been out for a while now. It's just that now it's, you know, it's out there. But I'm bringing this up, and I'm going to touch on a few points. Rosenberg, because Lord Jamal asked him, he like, did you watch the documentary? Like, did you watch it? No, I didn't watch it. You know, but I heard, you know, within the eight minutes, you know, it says XYZ, and it's trying to denounce the Holocaust and, you know, speak about the Jews being the devil. I heard none of that. What I will say is, in my opinion, it looked very well researched. And again, you know, when you're going back and you're trying to quote Bible and this tribe and that tribe, and again, that information was, you know, was known to me as far as who, you know, who Ishmael's sons was, and you know, the history of that and the Arabs and the Jews and, you know, etc., it still could be a little like overwhelming. You say, all right, and this tribe, and then they moved here. So, you know, as the documentary is moving along, you have to keep your attention span sharp. You got to stay focused, and it goes on. But within the first 8 minutes, speaking of Rosenberg again, and really just introducing the cast and how the documentary, you know, came, you know, the idea of it and the purpose of it, or the objective of it, if you will. Nothing about you know, Semitic tropes, or, you know, the Holocaust being not real, etc. And I thought it was real informative. I think he took some shots at Islam. You know what I mean? And obviously, you know, when you're dealing with religious conversations, which I've been a part of, millions of them, tons of them, sometimes they can be productive, and sometimes it could just be a lot of waste of energy, because people are going to believe what they're going to believe. It's up to you to do the research and dive in, and, you know, take that journey of self-awareness. I think we all want to, well, I can't say I think we all, I mean, I say for the majority, most people do want to have purpose. They want to know their purpose. They want to be fulfilled. You know, they want to know that their time here is not just, you know, a waste. And unfortunately, a lot of times people do waste time, especially in America. We shuck a jive at an all-time high. Like the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. So if you haven't seen the documentary, a lot of people say they haven't seen it, as far as people talking on TV, but they got an opinion. It's like Jada said, hate a nigga that, always there to see shit, always there to hear shit. Damn, I ain't say hate a nigga that, always about he see shit, but ain't here. You know, damn, I'm fucking around with it. It's like, hate niggas like that. You always know, but you wasn't there. Pretty much, that's what pretty much what he's saying. Like, you know what I mean? You always got the scoop. Was you there? You got somebody inside? So why are you always the one passing and disseminating the information, and most likely it's some bullshit? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you doing? You were agent. Who sent you? Like Mickey. Who sent you? Mickey. You know what I mean? And I think it's worth looking at if you are trying to, if you're a person that's trying to find awareness. And even after you look at that, don't stop. There's tons of other, books and things you can check out, as far as religious wise, and, it's different scholars, and, it's a tedious journey, and that's why you probably don't see a lot of people. You hear Kyrie quote, obviously stuff that's been around for a while. You want to hide something from them, put it in the book. And obviously we got the skin whipped off our ass, and we even thought about, trying to be smart. And so now it's just cool to be dumb, and, F nigga, nigga, it, I, D, like, it's cool to just, and it's cool to look bummy, be your dumb dummy, and disrespect your mommy. You know what I mean? Slick Rick reference. It's cool to do all this dumb shit. So, unfortunately, it's probably will be a time when it's less knowledgeable people on the earth, and this is more rampant idiots, and, people just running around and running amok. But check out the documentary. I rented it. I don't know how long I have it. That was last Sunday or last Monday I watched it. I probably still got it. I think it's for a week. I think it's worth watching. But there's another point that I want to bring up. Excuse me. When he was speaking about the tribes, and, where different areas they went, obviously through, being sold into slavery and being used as slaves, etc., and, exchanging humans, etc., human trafficking, going to different spots, and you was seeing the different shades of the people who he was saying is more likely these are this particular group of people, out of the 12 tribes. You see the Indian looking, and you see the African, and then this type of African, and then, hey, what I mean? Like all these different shades of black and brown, and, a mixture of dark and being beautiful. And it's just to say, we do forget that some of these great prophets and people, the Lord chose to lead the people was, oh, but you black, and you get reduced to, and it's like, you forget, and then you look at the times and you say it's not by design that in one era it was right on, brother. Right on, sister, and people moving and doing things on a certain accord. Then, as drugs and other stuff infiltrate the community, it get on to other shit. The niggas, you know what I mean? Certain dialect and how we roll and treat one another. And it's a shame. And it brings me to this story, you know what I mean? Which is, that's why you see Cabos, Cabos Los, obviously out there in Mexico, which I've been. I had a blast out there. In fact, was out there. That's the second time I went to Mexico. First time I went to Mexico was in Cancun. And Cancun was nice. Like, I'm in Cancun with a model in the bedroom. I'm inside like the airplane bathroom. Talk out your mouthpiece. Baby Paul, the baby AR, make it hot like South Beach. Had a good time. It was B-Day, not my B-Day, Kiss B-Day. Went out there and had mad fun. Like, but it was, you hear people talk about Cancun and turning up and woo, and it's all about the people who you go with, how many people you go with. You got people that just sit around, or you got turn up people. But we went and it was just really laid back. But we had an amazing time. Like, you know what I mean? So the first time I had a fucking 7-course meal. You know what I mean? That shit was so eloquent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is expensive. Shout outs to LC the Poet. Shout outs to Great Fire. Like, oh, this is expensive. Every time they brought a course out, you know what I mean? Even though the dialect of the lady was I can't really understand everything she was saying. He would explain what it's made of. We had like some they looked like soapy suds, but it was like a salty taste. And they brought out the different butters and shit. Like, this shit was exquisite. And it was one of the best dinners I ever had. And we had a great time. But it was laid back. But when we went to Los Cabos with this sister, Shaquela Robinson, unfortunately, ultimately was killed. You know what I mean? When we went out there, it was more turned up because it was about like 13 of us. We was on some, even I'm a Scorpio, we was best. It was the Virgos, you know what I mean? Virgo season. It was like 7, 8 Virgos all celebrating. And we went out there and we had mad fun. So now when you in a group, when you go to the little local, little lounge that's downstairs or the club that's, on your, I was about to say villa, but resort, it's more turned up because you're with people you know and then other people, so you see, as opposed to just two maybe and you don't really know and people not really turning up. So I just wanted to say that because I've been out there too and it was amazing. The fact that the joint we went to, we couldn't even get in the beach water because it was just too devastating. You know what I mean? Like, lady got her legs stuck in the sand and the water is so fierce and strong. Broke a leg. Like, they tell you don't go, you can hear like some people sleep at night on YouTube or whatever to the different sounds, the rain, the ocean and shit. That shit is loud. And we had the villa where you walk out in the water, and that shit was exquisite. I had mad fun. And to hear this story, I was thinking about my time being out there in Cabo Los, and you say, damn, so this young lady went out there with a couple of acquaintances, couple of friends. And, you've seen the video by now. I guess they try to take it down out of respect for the family on some sites and shit like that. But anyway, you see her naked. You know what I mean? You see her not fighting back. You see a woman or what appears to be a woman because now allegedly, maybe kind of, sort of, reports is coming out that, one of the chicks that was, assaulting her was a trans. You know what I mean? And then they're saying that's false. Then obviously, well, I can't say obviously because I do know some feminine, more feminine than other dudes, but they not homosexual. You know what I mean? So that is, you have that. But the guy that was recording the clip that I seen anyway, like, you ain't gonna fight back, scream, like, do something, like, just sound real zesty, you know what I mean, if you will. And I don't know if he is or not. They shut they profiles down and people is doxing them. People want them arrested. So anyway, the parents find out, autopsy is done. And, obviously she said the neck is broken, the back was cracked or whatever. Some real wild shit. And you say, damn, how does this happen? Why does this happen? And could it be avoided? You know what I mean? So rest in peace to her. May Allah have mercy and condolences to the family who, was lied to by people you probably had in your crib. You know what I mean? It's almost like, I think it was like, just like Juice. You know what I mean? Pac, rest in peace. I get around. And other characters we see in the movie, these is the worst type of fucking people you can have around you. That's why it's so important to vet. And, you know, even day ones, and as soon as when you, I won't use the word outgrow, but as soon as when you see when it's too much chaos, too much swirly shit going on around a person, you can take that on, believe it or not, and then you'll find out that your move is a little off because you keep taking. Yeah, that was absolutely. You can see your move is a little off. You may, you know, vibrations. A lot, you know, whether you believe in that or not. You know, the hum and what they call them, just the cutters or the shutchers or whatever. You could be in one move, and it's your friend or your cousin or whoever you vibe with. Y'all go back and forth. You giving energy, you taking energy. They're giving energy, they're taking energy. And you see if you got a circle of people always, you the counselor, you the go-to person. Why is this always happening? This happened. There's only but so much you can take before you roll out of the bed or, you know, go to work, you know, or deal with a family member or somebody, and that shit just come out the wrong way. And it shouldn't be that way, but, you know, that's just how it is. You touching the rail, somebody try to come get you if they don't have the piece to stop it, like a wood or something to direct it somewhere, they gonna jump on that chain and get that shit too. Like, you know what I mean? And all y'all motherfuckers would be like the God in the Galaxy when they grab the motherfucking Power Stone, and y'all all be trying to hold on to that shit until you get, I mean, that's just an analogy I'm giving. But anyway, I want to say this, a few things. One, no matter if they was trans or not, this what happened to her is unfortunate, is sick, it's fucked up. Like, that's just there's no other way. Because people use jealousy. You got to be careful with the stories, who's writing the story, you know, where they getting this from. You know, obviously because she was a hairstylist, so she had her own business, and you see some of the Instagram, nice looking young lady or whatever. So you got to say, if they allegedly maybe kind of sort of was trans, you know what I mean, then maybe you could see jealousy and, you know, you hate because she a real woman, or, you know, you're never going to be what she is. Like, you're never going to get it. But if they wasn't, you know, it doesn't matter. Jealousy, you can be jealous of your own family. You can be to your own sister, flesh and blood. And you see plenty of women out here, you know, fighting and doing the most, but being the hostess of the most is who they think is a bum bitch jealous. Like, ain't that crazy? Like, people be doing the most. You trying to make somebody that probably don't even give a fuck jealous, or, you know what I mean, mad. And the thing is this too, but I do want to say, if it was that, right, say the dude is zesty, because that's what he sounds like to me. If they were, you got to say, damn, who hangs out, you know what I mean? If his family is different, and I'm not a hater, I'm not a phobe, and none of that. I was locked up with motherfuckers I didn't want to be locked up with. Some of them was gay. I had to work with some people that was gay. You know, I got people in my family that was gay. And I hate that I even got to preference this shit like that. Because if you know, you know. Like I always say, I'm not none of that. You do you. We all gonna be judged, myself included. So I'm not on no high horse, but I can pick and choose who the fuck I want to be around on my own time. If it's work or something like that, then that's different. Everybody's gonna be treated with respect, though. But far as a woman, this is just for me as a man that love women, a heterosexual man. If you a woman and you know what I mean, you gotta hang with certain type of men or women that's trying to be gender swapping and all that, I gotta look with the side eye. I mean, me personally, and say maybe you like that type of chaos and confusion and stuff going on. Because like that, there's enough confusion with just regular women hanging around. You see the fucking reality shows. Like, you know what I mean? And some of this shit is made up, but you know it comes from, it's drawn from the real life. Some people is a drama queen. So now when you add that to men that want to be women, or women that want to be men, or, you know, that whole different type of dynamic, you want to hang around that shit. Like, if it's not your family, me personally, I don't think I could take you seriously as being somebody I would be involved with if, like, you had friends like that. I don't know if that sounds racist or some bigotry, bias shit, but I just can't. I didn't say I didn't like them. I just said I couldn't take you serious, and I think a lot of men have that same stance as I had. Like, that's the gun line. If you're a type of woman, and you know that's the type of vibe you on, probably want to be fucking with you. Like, sometimes you see them, you say, damn, unless they family or some cousin or something, you see some maybe two bad joints and they walking with some joints, and like you know men are gonna look at you, but then you see the company you with. So like, what type of games are you playing? You know what I mean? And then Obviously, if you add the caveat, and this has nothing to do with it, but it has everything to do with it. You know, women be like, he down low, you a faggot, you gay, or they try to slander you and throw that on you when they mad at you or they disagree or you a bitch. Hell, they use these terms and they place that on the men. But then when everything's cool, these is the people you rocking with. And again, no matter their gender or not, as far as what they want to be sexual, that should have never happened. But obviously, if it's a man that's trying to be a woman, so you really a man, you wasn't winning that, and fight back for what? Then they say she was drunk, and they say she wasn't, and then they say it was 2 assaults. So my thing is, I hope the truth comes to the light immediately. And then if it's, obviously what we already think, what we know, put them under the jail. Then drop it on them like in the Wizard of Oz. Just drop the house on the Wicked Witch of the East, and never let them get out. You know what I mean? Or get out when you're old. Don't give them no hormone shots. Don't let them be in there doing shit like make it hard on them. You know what I mean? Like, and you gotta say that because you gotta say stuff like this is unacceptable. Like when it's a bully beating on somebody, obviously we all like, well, I can't say we all, but I love a good UFC fight. I love a good boxing match. You know what I mean? I love a good sporting event. And what I hate the most is, I hate losing the most because that's your money. So I hate fucking losing. But what I really hate losing is when a team get blown out. They don't put no fucking effort. And I'm like, damn, I care more about this fucking game than you do. And I get it, they rich and all that, and this defends them. But I'm just saying how I feel when you see teams, and that's why I like teams that go hard, that players that get it out the mud. But you're like, well, if I bet on them, win or lose, they're going to go 100. They're going to care about the fucking game. And I'm bringing that up to say, when you see somebody, some big Westbrookshire beating on little small girls, like, yeah, you don't get no props for that. When you see fucking Debo or The Rock smacking the shit out of Pontaine or one of these little niggas, it's like, damn, what's the fucking Rock? Or it's the fucking somebody, I mean, and you have no wins. We all look like, damn, you don't get no props for that. Same thing in this situation, like jumping her or she drugged up or whatever it was, like she didn't want to fight back. So you did all that, and I get it. It could be involuntary manslaughter, because they could say, yeah, we did it, punched in the face a couple times. She was talking crazy. You know what I mean? Who knows? But they ain't mean to kill her. So what? The thing is, the person now fighting you back multiple times, you slammed her down, you hit her. Even a dude, her best friend, one of her friends, hate to say what the enemies look like. You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna fight back. It's just real sad. And then you leave the body there. I get it. You don't want to lose your flight. You want to get out of Mexico. And we actually missed our flight coming back from Cabo, fucking around in Applebee's or wherever the hell we was at in the airport eating. And we got to the gate. People were still getting on. And they was like, hell no. Like, you know what I mean? And you see like, dang, they didn't really fuck with us like that either, because they could have definitely let us go. But then, people we was with, women, start getting a little loud, getting a little out of hand. And they definitely was like, nah. And then you say, damn, what's the word people always using now? Entitled or out of line. You know what I mean? Not really using DAP, and just like you're going to whip somebody's ass and like, yeah, you have no fear of anything, and you think it's your world and it's your oyster. And they was like, oh, nah, y'all ain't getting on this plane. Go that way before we call security. And we had to wait and figure it out and call it out in this year. Like, it's consequences and this other shit when you in other people's country. And another thing I'll say is, being out of country, you know what I mean, depending on where you at, you already got to worry about other stuff going on. Being an American, being an American from over here, whether they're looking at you with the side eye anyway, like any little slip up, and you might get something in your drink, or you might get found on the side of the road, and it's a car crash, but it really wasn't. You know what I mean? Like your body parts or whatever it is, I'm going a little extreme, but you got to worry about the people you went there with. It's fucked up. And it's like all over for what? Some money, because you don't look better, she fucks your man, or, you know what I mean? Something was said that maybe shouldn't have been said. I mean, all this is speculation, but none of it warrants death. And again, you can say none of them, they didn't mean to do it. They just was just punching her, or just fucking her up. They didn't mean to kill. They didn't mean to break her back, break her neck. You know what I mean? Or maybe they did. But again, I think justice needs to be served quick. We need all the answers from everybody that was dead. Nobody should be exempt. None of that shit. Like shelters. They try to hide the insubordinate female, and they don't want to tell it is. I think everybody that was there need to be identified, and we need to find what the fuck happened. Word. You know what I mean? Now let's get to this shit real quick. Let's get to this Kanye West shit. I know I was just talking about that, and I want to just talk about it in this sense because it's like, can't just let this shit, like what he said, just go by the wayside. You know, it's been what, 2 years now? Come here, about 2 years now. I've been running through these YouTube streets, running across these YouTube alleyways, and they should have never. And one of the channels that I ran across in these YouTube streets is the Gematria Effect channel, and that's pretty much for those that never heard of it, because you know when I first came across it, I didn't know what it was either, and I was very intrigued. I'm like, oh, this shit is ill. Like that shit is whoa, like Black Rob, rest in peace. You see something ill at the curve, that shit is whoa, especially if it got the fully equipped on it. But anyway, Gematria is the study of the language of numbers, you know, where pretty much, you know, A is 1 going all the way to Z, and, you know, each letter is a number, and, you know, obviously you know, the world or God spoken words and numbers and things happen. So anyway, coming across this channel, Zach Zuckerberg, there's a few out there now. He was just the first one. Speak about sacrifices and putting words and bringing a lot of coincidences. I'm gonna say like a coinky dink, and again, if you follow the channel, then you already know what's one of the sayings. When you put the beat on, I'm not shocked and I'm not amazed. Going to this channel, one of the first videos I seen of him was of Pop Smoke. Rest in peace. You know what I mean? Brooklyn, she want to fuck with the woo. She do want to fuck with the woo. For the fellas in the back that didn't know, she want to fuck with the woo. Just letting you know. Don't be surprised when she tell you, and you like, oh, word, you want to fuck with the woo? Like, yeah, nigga, you want to fuck with the woo. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. When he was breaking it down, using the numbers and the dates and the times and the events leading up, and again, it's all conspiracy. It's just, you know, you could check it out on your own. I'm probably fucking up his lines anyway, but again, it's gematria, and it's the study of the numbers and how this shit don't always be a coincidence. You know what I mean? As people just think it is, like stuff just happens. It's like, nah, this is happening based off this. So anyway, you hear Kanye, you know, come out, you know, because some people already believe, you know, people sacrifice and, you know, to get ahead, to stay ahead, of different door, Illuminati, all that shit. He came out and like, yo, you know, after he spoke about Jay and Beyonce and certain people, Michael Jordan, you know what I mean? Like, he said some shit that's just like I said. You can't unhear that shit now. I don't care what you think about him. He far out. He's gone. He on medication. He said some outlandish, crazy, salacious, you know, accusations. And for some people, they're like, yeah, we've been knew about this shit. We've been saying this and this and that. What's your thoughts? Obviously, when I first heard it, I wasn't shocked and amazed, but I was taken aback just to hear him say it out loud. It's like, you know, my mom's was sacrificed. And it's like, your mom's was sacrificed. What? What? Did you do it? Did you know of somebody doing it? Like what are you really saying? Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, he had the tweet, you know what I mean? DEFCON when he wake up, went to sleep, woke up. Again, David Chappelle had, you know, I seen a little small snippet, and it was hilarious. And, you know, in the joke form, obviously, hearing somebody tweet that is like, somebody said it about, oh, but you black. Right? In the morning, deaf to all black. You'll be like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I would be looking and I would be getting ready. Like, oh, they said deaf to who? Well, let's see if they serious. Can't take this shit lightly. Can't take this shit laying down past 7 o'clock in the morning. No, get your ass up. Go brush your teeth, wash your stinking ass, get up. Like, you want Dunkin' Donuts? You want to pay your rent? You better work, bitch. Get up. You better work. And I'm being funny, but I'm not. When he said that shit, I said, oh, shit, this is crazy, crazy. So now the thing is, again, who did it? Did you know about it then? Why are you speaking about it now? Who's next? You know what I mean? Are you? And obviously, you know, he already was like, Jay don't send people. Then Jay on the song for the 4/4 album, he said, I gave him 20 million without blinking. He gave me 20 minutes on stage. What the fuck was he thinking? Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, he took the little shot to deflect. Well, I gave you 20 million, bro. Like, I never stabbed you in the back. I never called you crazy. You went on stage and you said some wild accusations. Then you talking about don't send those people to come get me. So, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like this shit is crazy, crazy. I'll say, you know, what they did in the media. You know, this is another thing. If you didn't watch the Farrakhan, his little 50 minutes speaking on it. Again, if you have any awareness of Farrakhan, you know he was banned. You know that some of the stuff he say could rub people a little wrong way. Like Kanye said, "Oh, they so sensitive. They'll never fix it." You know what I mean? Like to say something when you gonna end up apologizing. Let me know if it's a problem. Then holler then. He came out, and I was surprised to hear this, but not really when you put the beat on. He's like, yeah, they slandered me. They own all the networks. Then we went to go sit down. This is what Farrakhan said. If you didn't watch it, and to surmise what he said. He like, yeah, we went to go sit down. Everything was cool. He was acting like everything was cool. You know, they talked to me, and we was talking about stuff, and they put the contract or the envelope on the table. And he was like the one of the rabbis there was like, after this love fest, you're gonna be mad at me or something like that. And then he passed him the envelope, aka the contract. And what Farrakhan was saying is they wanted him to sign a contract that he would denounce and do certain things before they go public with him, and pretty much offering him like what they say in the good book, you want to offer me the moon, you want to offer me the sun in my right hand. If you could offer me none of that, I don't want none of it because my soul is not for sale. I'm just not going to do certain things the way my integrity is set up. The way my principles move, I'm just not going to do certain things. And some people, the goalposts could be moved, once the pot is stirred enough. People will do certain things for certain things. So he was like, I'm good. I mean, I'm not signing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. But to hear him come out and say that is that he already was aware of how they, the media onslaught was to paint the picture, etc. And we'll see if he play tomorrow. Like I said, we'll see if he plays tomorrow. But I just, this we living in wicked times. You gotta stay prayed up. You gotta stay aware of what's going on, and you got to try to stay as independent as possible. And even in a network, of people that's like-minded, that's gonna, when it all comes down, like in another Kanye reference, that they got your back. You know what I mean? They're gonna do what things necessary to make sure you good and they good. And obviously you referenced the WaKanDa, which I think is a riveting series. That's why certain communities that's eating motherfuckers and just ravishing, and there's certain motherfuckers certain communities where even though it's in dire times, they still not just eating humans. They still not just using humans as bait or still being humane. And before we get to the sports real quick, talk about this shit too. It's mad shit to talk about, but I gotta get out of here. So I want to talk about this because I did just see the Black Panther 2 movie, and like I said, it's good. I don't think it was better than Black Adam, but the tribute was fly. If you ain't see it yet, go see it. You should support it. Obviously, when you go in, you know that it's made up. It's not real, so that's why more was prone to go see that as opposed to the Woman King. But anyway, the soundtrack got Riri on it, obviously, from the pregnancy. This is some of her work is out. And she teamed up with I think the girl name is Term or Teams from Nigeria. Nice looking young lady. But the funny shit is I thought it was a dude, not far as looks, and she was dressed up in drag. Just the sound, like it sounds like a young kid or a male child. So I'm looking at something on Tidal. I still ain't get off Tidal yet. So that's why I still listen to my music. I'm not on Apple. So I'm looking, somehow I came across the soundtrack of the Black Panther. So I was getting ready to go see it last weekend, which I did go see it last Friday. So I'm looking at the terms, I'm seeing the future. So I see that the Free Demage on, that's her song. So then I go do a Google and find out it's a woman, obviously, woo woo, Drake and Beyonce. I think they joint signed to her, and she's very talented. I like the Free My Mind, like my mind travels to the other side. The song was fly. I like listening to that in the morning, getting up sometimes. That song was dope. But in the article, in the GQ article, speaking of Riri, obviously she's a billionaire. She got the Fendi, the makeup, and she's one of the dopest singers too. Her music is dope. I like Rihanna. They quoted or they chose to highlight out of everything Rihanna said, I'm sure she said some good stuff to her, hopefully. You know what I mean? And they worked together on the album, etc. Lift Me Up, I think that's the lead song. and they played that at the end when they was giving a tribute to Bozeman as the person, not the character. But she was like, you got to stop being so humble. You got to start being that bitch. You know what I mean? This is what they quoted her. A couple other things, I guess, coming to the industry. She might be a little modest. She might be a little humble. You know what I mean? Like, sit down, be humble. You know what I mean? And you don't got to be a bad bitch and boss bitch persona. You know what I mean? And I just found that real interest. Like, you know, especially for somebody like Rihanna, because you blessed. You know what I mean? You just have your first child. You know, you're a phenomenal singer. Obviously, you have you know, riches and finances and notoriety, etc. You would think people like that, you know, and I'm not saying that she's not humbled or, you know, have humility in her moments. Or maybe she's been just a savage for so fucking long and not caring about a horse and carriage that she not humble. And she really is that bitch in her mind. And whatever you think is right or wrong or not, this thing like speaking in the Hebrews, from Hebrews to Negroes, and a lot of the, you know, I'll say the decline, if you will, in the community. This is just another thing. It's the lack of awareness of the Lord. And I don't get into Christian or no real talk you to church and take you to church. But just to hear you say, damn, somebody that's blessed with so much, wouldn't you think that they would be, one, grateful, appreciative? And again, I'm not saying that she's not. Wouldn't have a mindset of like, yeah, I'm arrogance. You know what I mean? Like, I got all the riches in Egypt, and, you know, I got all these fucking slaves and building all this shit for me. The pharaohs and all this, a lot of them was arrogant, went to their head, and a lot of empires crumbling. You can see United Snakes of America. You can see with a lot of the arrogance and shit we had. You know what I mean? The Vietnam going over there gets slaughterhouse. When you too cocky and you just think it's all about you, and again, you know, Mayweather's undefeated, so, you know what I mean, it's working for him. And to each his own. I'm not going to pound on him. But I thought out of all the advice, wisdom, you see how they have the master classes, and you hear Kevin Hart, his is very good. The Rock is good. You know, on Oprah, the master classes and shit. Nas joint is good. Obviously, these people I mentioned, they top of the top of, you know, of their craft. You know what I mean? And so when they breaking it down on what it takes, you gotta have humility. So you tell a young, you know, one young woman, you know, to be that bitch and stop being humble on these niggas. I get it, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I get it. That's the era we living in, but is that really the mindset that you want? You know what I mean? Is that the mindset you want to pass down? Not saying you gotta be, you know what I mean, second citizen to nobody. Like, yeah, I know my shit is official, so I don't gotta act like I'm not official. But, you know, or maybe I read it wrong, just to hear, like, if she a new artist, like her music, to hear this is how she coming out, and to hear, you know, these are the people that's over her, the Drakes, the Beyoncés, the Rihannas. This is what they feed, you know what I mean? I don't know. But let's get to these picks, you know what I mean? Let's get to the picks. Let's get to the motherfucking picks. First of all, let's get to the records. Last week I didn't give the picks. I gotta apologize. Like I said, my shit almost was in flames, on fire. I went 4 out of 5 out of the locks last week. Let me just show y'all real quick. We don't play around. We don't play around. It's a bad lay it down. You know what it is? Oh no, that was the week that I did do the show.
What it do, people? Yeah, you know what it is, and you know what it sounds like. Sunday Fun Day.
Those are the last. This is last week.
Music. Let me hear that fire. You know what I mean? Here go the picks. The locks, not from Yonkers, but the locks that get us the winner chicken dinners. Here they go. Chicago.
That was the only loss.
Minnesota. Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay.
And Tennessee.
Yeah, Green Bay.
Thank me later. You already know the vibes.
People was in my comments. People was in my comments. This is on Instagram too. Green Bay? Do you know the Cowboys have the best record against the spread this season? Shouts to my nigga Blackface. I'm like, yep, don't matter. Think Green Bay due for the win, and that 3.5 is suspect. And they won outright. I never, your picks is nutty. No New York Giants. No New York Giants last week, even though they did win. So people just couldn't really believe the picks, but I posted that. I should have posted it on the tube, but I didn't. So that brings our record from the week that I last did the show to last week when I didn't do the show. Our overall record right now, maybe after week 10, We 82-70. That's just picking all of the games. Out of the locks, we 31-27 now. Prior to that, we was 24-25 because we had 2 bad weeks. Then last week we went 5 out of 6 the week that I did the show, and then last week when I didn't do the show, we went 4 out of 1. So that's where we stand at with the records. Let's get to the picks. Let's get to the chicken dinners. Let's get to the chicken dinners for those that stuck around. Hold on, let me see. The Clippers is cleaning. Clippers is cleaning. Clippers is cleaning. Probably going to lose. Let's get to the picks, though. First game, Chicago at Atlanta. Chicago coming up last week. That was the only loss that we had on the locks. Motherfuckers. And they was winning the game pretty much handily. Justin Fields was doing his numbers, running all over the scoreboard. Then at the end, you throw a pick. They ran it back. Atlanta just lost Thursday Night Football to Carolina. Baker Mayfield came in. He looked all right. I'm not gassed. It was a division game. Atlanta won the first game against Carolina, so Carolina just got to get back. Atlanta's at home. Chicago offer they think they played Thursday, right? And they played Thursday night too? Let me see. Chicago, that is. No, they just played to the Lions last week. I like Atlanta. Atlanta at home getting 3. I like Atlanta. It's no real rhyme or reason. Will I be surprised if Chicago come win? No, but I'm going with Atlanta. Next game, Baltimore at home, coming off the bye. They giving 13 to Carolina Panthers, who we just was speaking about. Carolina, Baker Mayfield, some of the channels, some of the I guess if you will, professional chatter is Baker Mayfield was used to playing against Baltimore because he was in the division with the Browns. Different team, different scheme. Baltimore actually had a double-digit lead, and I think out of the 9 games that they had, like 8 or 7 of them. And they lost, I think, 3 of them. They're coming off the bye. Lamar Jackson still under no contract playing, bet on himself. I like Lamar Jackson to clean Carolina. I'm not gassed that they beat Atlanta last week. I'm not gassed. Next game, Buffalo. Buffalo they're not home. They're actually going to be in Detroit because it's a big snowstorm. It's a big storm coming to Buffalo. If you've seen some of the images, some of the videos, and you already know, up there it's fucking hella snow. Don't ever be up there in the wintertime. It's like Canada, close to Plattsburgh, Montreal, that area. The snow up there. Roo, I'm freezing. Agony. Why is everybody always picking on me? It's brick up there. They're going to be in Detroit, so it's not going to be no snow. Obviously, Deshaun Watson is back with the team, able to practice, did practice, still can't play in the games yet. Hello, you play to win the game. Yeah, still can't play yet. 2 more games suspension. He going to come back against Houston. Given 8 points, yes, they lost. Are they going to come back? Obviously, Josh Allen, he played. We didn't think he was going to play. The Minnesota game was crazy. We had Minnesota's unlocked last week. 7 points was just too much. That was easy money. That was easy money, even though they was losing in the beginning. I didn't think they was going to win straight up, but that 7 points was easy money. Like Murder Mook, easy. I think Buffalo win the game, but I don't think they cover the 8 points. Cleveland been losing. I think they should run the ball, try to keep it close, keep Josh Allen on the sideline. Defense might keep it close. They probably backdoor cover. I like Cleveland. Next game, speaking of Houston, at home, getting 3, Washington Commanders. They just who they just beat? I think they just lost to Philly. No, they just beat Philly. We had Washington with the 11, not to win the game. Not going to get on this channel and lie about the picks. We had Washington with 11 points. We didn't think they was going to win the game. So they won last week. They riding high. No more fly, Eagles fly. No more undefeated season. The 72 Dolphins, they popped that bottle with champagne. Nobody going undefeated. Brady and them was the closest, and they lost to my New York Football Giants. Um, Everything says take Washington. It should be an easy victory, right? Why is it only 3 points? I don't know. Forces me to take Houston. I'm going with Houston. There's no real rhyme or reason. I think Washington is a better team. I think Chase Young is coming back this week. Chase Young should be coming back this week. But why are you only giving 3 points? If anything, it should be 4.5, 4 points, something like that. 3 points. Little shaky, little nervous, little shaky, little nervous. So I'm going with Houston. Next game, speaking of Philly, took that first L of the season. They on the road at Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts getting 6.5. Jeff SaTurDaY got his first victory. A lot of people was mad that he got the job, and I agree. But the bottom line is no matter what race you are, no matter what religion you are, no matter where you live in the world, just the facts are the facts. And the facts are this. People use or should, if you're not using it, and sometimes I'm guilty of this shit. If you have a network, a network of people that can help you do things, help you get a job, help you move up the ladder, help you invest, help you, progress, and you're doing the same for them, you're gonna do it. So because he know the owner, don't mean that the owner should have skipped past all of the other qualified candidates. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is people they skip to the line pass. They do use their lifeline. I mean, why would you not? You know what I mean? Why would you not? Why would you not? I'm gonna use mine. You know what I mean? Get the buddy pass or get the sprinter for cheap. You're gonna use your connection. So that's all he really did. But I get why people is like, it was more qualified coaches. How the fuck he just get a job? He got a job because he know the owner. And the owner's a billionaire. It's like if you knew Barack or you knew somebody, I need you know the captain at the precinct. My son is down there. My sister just came through. She called it. You're gonna use your connections. You should. We all should be using, people. And when you say use, it's not necessarily in a bad way. Anyway, Colts at home getting 6.5. Will the Eagles bounce back? I think they will bounce back, but I don't think they cover that spread. I think the spread is a little bit too much. Indianapolis do got a good defense, offensive line, definitely a little shaky, a little nervous. Jeff SaTurDaY was an offensive lineman, won the Super Bowl, and even though he's don't got no coaching experience, I think it's a little spark or energy that was inserted into the team, and they probably still gonna lose, but I don't think they're gonna lose by 7. I like the Colts. Next game, New York Jets, Jets, Jets at New England. Luke, I am your father. And New England is the Jets' father. I think they beat them like motherfucking 17 times in a row. Why my chair keep going down? 17 times in a row. The spread is 3.5. The Jets did pull some upsets this year. They are better than what I ever expected them to be this year. And so was the New York Giants. Both of the New York teams is looking pretty damn decent. PDD. Pretty damn decent. I think they lose to New England. I think New England coming off a bye, smack Jets. I think they smack Jets. Next game, Rams at the Saints. Who that? Who that said they're going to beat them Saints? Saints at home. Rams ain't been looking good. Matt Stafford was out. Cooper Kupp got his injury to his ankle. Odell Beckham ain't walking through that door. We don't know where he want to go. He fake want to go to Dallas. He want to go to New York. He giving all these teams out and shit. Just get on the field. I think he's going to probably go to Dallas, though. I think Odell going to go to Dallas. The Rams getting 2.5. I like the Saints at home. Rams could win by a field goal. I think it's going to be a close game, but I like the Saints to win. Next game, my New York Football Giants. Is New York in the house? Is Brooklyn in the house? New York in the house. We went against New York last week. We had Houston. We shouldn't have. That was one of the picks we had wrong last week. We went 9-5. This is another one. My New York Football Giants is 7-2. Right, hold on. 7-2. Right, 7-2. Let that sink in. playing against Holly Berry. Holly Berry, no, not the actress Holly Berry. We love Holly Berry. Jared Goff, Holly Berry. Holly Berry, the bum ass Detroit Lions. Shout out to Jalen Rose, though. You know what I mean? Detroit and them boys. Why they only giving them 3? Shouldn't the Giants be giving them like 4 or 5? Shouldn't they be favored by a touchdown? Shouldn't the Giants win by a touchdown? I think so. Vegas a little shaky on this one. I'm going with Detroit. No, I ain't gonna go with Detroit. I'm gonna go with the Giants. I ain't gonna go against the Giants, but it is a little suspect. I'm gonna take the Giants, but it's not a lock. And I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit wins because the spread is so low. Sometimes when you're gambling, you're looking for games, the spread will jump right out at you, and you be like, this shit look fishy as a mother. Why is it like this? And you be right. Next game, Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. Russ, oh God, it's been horrible for you in Denver. You looking bad. I mean, honestly, Geno Green looking way better than you. You looking way better than you. And it sounds like they happy you gone. Raiders, Derek Carr crying after the press conference, or really just in agony. Almost like, I know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right. You have to fail. They just keep failing and failing. And it's almost like, what's the movie? Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. It's an excellent, riveting movie. If you like sports, Kevin Garnett is in it. And if you like me, you a gambler, because that's your money, son. When he just had snot coming out his nose and he was crying and he was like, why do I keep losing? Why do I keep losing? And sometimes it be like that. I had 17 straight days of losing. Horrible. I did fucking horrible. I had 17 straight days of losing. I keep track of what I bet every day, what I win. I'm just not just gambling. Shit is a business. But anyway, I said all that to say, I think Derek Carr and them, they both bums. They sprinkle some dirt on them. They not making the play. They done. Did it and done. You from Queens, done. They both done. But I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders. I think Derek Carr is probably going to throw the ball better than Russell Wilson. I mean, he been looking like trash. Next game, 3 more games. Next game. This is probably the game of the week only because Minnesota's 8-1. They got one of the best records in the NFL. They beat Buffalo last week in overtime. Dallas lost to Green Bay. We had Green Bay last week. A lot of talk about Dak. Can he do it? You know what I mean? Should you keep Cooper Rush back in this? Just cut it out, people. Cut it out, right? Dak gonna be fine. What people are looking at is saying Minnesota is at home. They 8-1. Dallas is 6-3. You're only 3 games above 500, which is good for Dallas. But they should be 7-2. Why is Dallas giving 1.5 to the team that's home, that's got the better record, that's playing good? And that's Vegas believing in Dallas, and I too shall believe in Dallas this week. Not going to be surprised if Minnesota squeak it out. They had a lot of one-possession games this year, and they found a way to win. Will the trend continue, or will they go down? Like watching your life go down? I'm going to go with Dallas, and I like Dallas strong. Zeke is probably going to be back. I think Dak going to play good. Plus, the record against Kirk Cousins, for what it's worth, Dak has gotten the better of the 2 matchups, and I think that matters. Next game, Cincinnati Bengals at Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers getting 3.5. They played already in the beginning of the season. If I'm not mistaken, Cincinnati beat them bad. What they beat them by? Oh, the first game of the season, actually Cincinnati lost to Pittsburgh. Overtime, 23-20. I think Mike Tomlin cooked something up. I think Cincinnati will win. They only gonna win by a field goal. So that 3.5 is boss. I like the 3.5. Last game, Sunday Night Football. Patrick Mahomes, a.k.a. Ferrari, a.k.a. NyQuil, a.k.a. Night, in the runnings for the MVP now. They got the second best record in the league at 7-2, or they tied. They beat They beat the Chargers on Thursday Night Football. We was in Vegas watching the game at the little ball lounge we was at, so I was watching. I had the Chargers in that game, and I got the Chargers in this game. I think Kansas City probably will win. It's not a hedge on my bets, but I don't think they're gonna win by more than 5. Chargers is getting 5. I like the 5 points. They always play Kansas City tough. They lost on Thursday night. That was at Kansas City. Now it's Sunday Night Football. Are you ready for some football? Sunday Night Football. They got some players back on defense. They was banged up. They was hurt. Keenan Allen, a lot of the receivers wasn't playing. I think they get back. I think they fight hard. I think they fight to win the game. And I think that 5 is boss. Last game, Monday Night Football, just because I be forgetting, and then when it come out, you're like, you ain't say that on the channel. San Fran, they looking like they a well-oiled machine, even though they didn't cover the spread last week. We had San Fran. Got to work the pieces back in. Debo's back. They got the tight end back, Trent. He's one of the, not the tight end, the offensive linemen. Arizona may have Kyler Murray back. The spread is 8. I like San Fran. I could probably switch my pick depending on what the public is betting. Right now it's 54% on San Fran. I could see them winning 27-17, 30-13, something like that. I think they spank. Let's get to the locks though for tomorrow or today. Not the locks from Yonkers. The locks to get us those winner chicken dinners. Here go the locks right here. Here go the locks. I like Atlanta at home getting 3. No, they giving 3, right? Let me see. They giving 3. Atlanta at home giving 3. What am I doing here? Hold on. I wrote it down. Baltimore giving 13 to Baker Mayfield, Carolina. New England over the Jets. Nothing gonna change. Like, stop busting your head against the wall. That's what the white man wants you to do. Like, they're gonna keep beating the Jets. They at home. They coming off a bye. That's a super lock. I might put 550 on New England tomorrow. Just one pick. New Orleans over the Rams. The Rams not saying they can't win. You gotta prove it to me. I don't really like what they doing to Jameis Winston. But Andy Dalton has somewhat steadied the ship, if you will. They still not making the playoffs. I don't think they can make the playoffs. But I think they beat the Rams. Next game, how about those Cowboys? How about the Dallas Cowboys? We taking that as a money pick. We taking that as a lock. We also taking Chargers Sunday Night Football as a lock. That's 6 locks. Atlanta, Baltimore, New England, New Orleans, Dallas, Chargers. 6 pick on that. You know what it is. It's 41-40. It's 48-41. Like we hit yesterday on the 6 pick. Alright? All NBA though. I put it up in the shorts. 6 pick, $100, 48-41. We're gonna do that 6 pick tomorrow. Atlanta, Baltimore, New England, New Orleans, Dallas, and the Chargers. Sorry it was a 2-week wait. Sometimes you gotta take a step back, especially when my shit almost caught on fire. It almost was crazy out this shit. Like for real. There won't be no show. It'd be like, do you ever think about when you out of here? Popovich TV and all that shit out of here. But while we here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash that notification bell so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You know what it is. It's your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in to my show, Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.